This slideshow will be talking about Jake Paul and Anthony Joshua and some other. Take a look at some videos. Okay. So I already made some YouTube short comment on this, and I have been out of the loop. So I have been watching a lot of videos leading up to the fight, but after the fight is over, I heard about who won, and Andrew Tate lost, and Jake Paul lost, and Anderson Silva also won recently. I've been doing some comment on that. And as I've said before, so say now again, speed matters. And I find it interesting. Greg Doucette made a video too. So let's start by playing Greg Doucette's video and take a look at some YouTube channels here. Verify microphone on. Yes. Okay, here we go. Don't get your hopes up if you're a cyber stalking troll that you're gonna be able to leave comments. I'm going to put restrictions on the chat. Don't forget to like the video and subscribe if you're a first time viewer. Subscribe if you're a first time viewer and like if you no matter what. Speed matters. Anthony Joshua, the faster man, won the fight. I've heard people give their less quality intelligent commentary. Like Greg Doucette talk about Anthony Joshua was the bigger man, and Michael Bisping too. So a lot of the people comment on this. Michael Bisping and Greg Doucette, they're hyper focused on the size, when in reality the obvious difference is the speed and fitness level. See, not just the weight in pounds or the reach advantage, but Anthony Joshua was the faster and the fitter man. So speed matters in combat. If that's firefights, gunfighting, if it's sword fighting, stick fighting, fist fighting, speed matters and fitness, fighting fitness. So if you would look at pictures before the fight, if they would have take a picture of Jake Paul in the ring and Anthony Joshua in the ring and compare and contrast who looks to be in the best shape, the fittest, the most athletic, who looks more like a pro athlete. Well, the man who won the fight, Anthony Joshua. Anthony Joshua, face value, looks fitter for fight. Fitter, see. Anthony Joshua looked fitter, more athletic. So if there's a boxing fight coming up and one guy looks soft and out of shape and heavy, and the other guy looks leaner, and they still compete in the same weight class. But one guy is looking soft and more out of shape, Jake Paul, and Anthony Joshua looks in fighting shape. That matters. So it's not just the size, the reach, advantage, whatever. It's obviously the guy's in better shape. Fighting fitness. Are you in fighting shape? Are you in fighting shape? Who's the most in fighting shape? One of the reasons that having the build that Joshua has, where he's fitter than Jake Paul, is he's got less unnecessary weight, which translates to better cardio performance, stamina, and endurance, which means lean, mean fighting machine. He has weight, he's got muscles, and that's about it. It's not he's got muscles and then a lot of fat weight on his body, like Jake Paul. Anthony Joshua is built like a fighting machine, where he has muscles, grant him that power and explosive power and stuff, while without like around this unnecessary fat weight that Jake Paul has, which is in a fight like this translates to stamina, cardio performance, and being able to move around, hit hard many times without gassing out. Whereas Jake Paul is more built for losing. Okay, he's got a loser's build, and he lost. So Jake Paul and Anthony Joshua, if he would have gone to the later rounds, Jake Paul would be worse and worse off each round, just because he's fat and not, yeah, he's got more weight and carrying around extra weight basically that's unnecessary weight because your muscles don't really help you in your athleticism. Your fat doesn't really help athleticism. Let's look at this. We gotta take a look at Jake Paul, Anthony Joshua. Uh, yeah, so speed matters, and the faster man won, and the guy who looks to be in the best shape. So Anthony Joshua was the fitter and the faster man. He was fitter and he was faster. And I've seen people say, I saw a video, somebody's, their opinion was he's the fastest heavyweight, somebody said about Jake Paul. Obviously not, because Anthony Joshua was not faster than him. So Anthony Joshua is the fitter, faster man, and speed matters. People that watch my training streams, and talk about training, martial arts, know that I like speed, and I've said that speed is one of the most important metrics. Like if you're looking at fighting fitness, okay, speed is one of the most important factors. If that's gun fighting, stick fighting, sword fighting, fist fighting, speed is one of the most important things. Speed. So Anthony Joshua was fitter, he was faster, and he won. Fitter, faster, the fitter, and the faster man won. Whereas Jake Paul is slower, softer, and looks to be in less fighting shape. Do you see what I'm telling you? Look at this picture, promo picture. Right, maximize. Yada, 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 yada. Okay, so this is Anthony Joshua, and this is Jake Paul. And there's a difference. Anthony Joshua is, yes, he's bigger, but it's not just that he's bigger. That extra weight, it's all what you want to have extra weight. It's muscles and not fat. Okay. Which means he's leaner. If you look at Jake Paul's physique, he's got a lower testosterone physique. So face value Anthony Joshua, I see a man with higher testosterone than Jake Paul, which is also a part of athleticism. Testosterone matters a lot in terms of athletic performance, stamina, endurance, power, speed, things like this. So Anthony Joshua is in better shape. He's leaner, whereas Jake Paul has a physique that is lower T. He's got more fat. He's less lean. There's a connection between low T and belly fat. So if a man is athletically built with visible abs, that's an indicator having high testosterone, naturally or not. But correlating with high T is lean muscle, and especially in the stomach area, which means if you watch my health fitness coaching, teaching people health fitness, if you have a lot of belly fat, that's an indication that your testosterone levels have declined from when you did not have this much belly fat. So Anthony Joshua was faster, he's built better, he's in better shape basically. Anthony Joshua better shape, leaner, and he has pretty much my physique only upscaled. See, so a lot of the pro combat athletes are built like me, boxers and UFC fighters. They have the same body composition, and the heavyweights typically will be my type of physique, only upscale. Do you understand? It's like a scaled fighter jet that you buy a model. It's like 116. It'll be the same build, only upscale than a lot of heavyweights have. People that take fighting seriously, and you will have these like rare outliers that are not built. Uh, they don't look like a pro athlete, but still end up performing like one and winning. Like what's his name? Roy Nelson. Roy Nelson. He was had like a dad bod and looked really out of shape in the UFC. And in his heyday, he was knocking people out with his overhand haymakers. People look like Anthony Joshua. So, but that would be weird. That'd be weird. Or this boxer, the Gypsy King, quote unquote, who also has kind of like a dad bod build, but ended up winning boxing matches anyway. So Anthony Joshua, Jake Paul, you can see the fitter man is on the white. So it's not just the extra weight and being bigger. He was faster. and leaner. So Anthony Joshua is fitter and faster, and that matters. He's got a lower body fat percentage too, which means the extra weight is not being fed in Jake Paul, which is not really how boxing coaches, in like your condition, if you have a coach as a help you to get in shape, it's like, yeah, we need to fatten yourself up to get better. Increase your chance of winning fights. Yeah, you need to get fat. You need more fat on your body. No, not really. So yeah, you can see who the fitter man is, and he was the faster. Okay. So now we're going to watch Greg Doucette's video on this and do commentary, his commentary. And much like Michael Bisping, so either Michael Bisping has blocked on his channel, so only I see my comments, or it's the general YouTube shadow banning, where they work to not have people see my comments. And let's go to Michael Bisping, and I left some comments here. And it said Jake Paul versus Anthony Joshua was a masterclass. And I left a comment 22 hours ago. AJ box well, IMO. 0 likes on it, which just screams that people aren't seeing my comment. Because it's like comments that I leave. It's not like fuck everybody read this comment or something like this. It's just commentary. And generally, if you have whatever your opinion is, he boxed decent or he boxed good or he sucked at boxing, you're gonna have some people seeing your comment, and some of the people seeing your comments gonna hit the like on it. So this indicates that either Michael Bisping blocked me on his channel, hide users, so people can't see my comments, only I can, or it's YouTube channel banning. And here I wrote another comment 22 hours ago. Jake is the type of guy to try to win a boxing match with wrestling and track and field, which means money, which is kind of a joke because he was shooting double leg takedowns without like finishing them. Where he was like setting up takedowns to act like he was gonna take down Anthony Johnson with double leg takedowns, which is wrestling, but not really finishing it. Okay. And also being on his back foot and moving around. So let's start with.
Right, so Anthony Joshua versus Jake Paul just finished, and guess what? Anthony Joshua won the fight. That is correct. He showed the world. He went out there and he beat Jake Paul. That's way smaller, way less experienced. He won the fight. He got the stoppage in the 6th round, okay? I don't know where to start with this, okay? Was it a classic? Was it a fight that you've definitely got to go and watch?
I haven't looked at the whole fight. I've just looked at clips and highlights and like the last YouTube shorts of like the last 15 seconds of the fight.
Watch? I can't say that it was. Listen, first of all, they both stepped in the ring. They were paid $92 million. They both get to go home to their families, and no one got injured. No one's dead. No one's going to the hospital. They're both fine. Apparently, Jake Paul claims that he's got a broken jaw, spat a little bit of blood out, right? But the fight itself wasn't.
Yeah, so supposedly Jake Paul had his jaw broken and lost a few teeth too.
Anything.
And with the amount of money he's making from this, he can buy a lot of stuff to help with recovery. He has the money to pay a biological dentist, which is what I would recommend. Anybody getting dental work has the money to go to a biological dentist. They have different types of dentists in this world. So he's got the money. That's what I would do. I would go to not just the average Joe dentist. I go to a special biological dentist. If I was Jake Paul, had a broken jaw, lost teeth, and also with the money that he has, he could take a lot of liposomal vitamin C. So personally, I would go from one liposomal C sachet per day, which I take now. If I had the money, I had an injury, or more than one injury, I would go to at least 3 liposomal C sachets per day.
To remember.
Along with regular vitamin C. And possibly go to a clinic and get IBC as well. And like 3 forms of vitamin C.
It really wasn't, right? Anthony Joshua was a little sloppy. He was tentative. He took his time. He said he was trying to break him down, look for the shots. And maybe it's because he'd been out the ring for 15 months.
And Anthony Joshua was doing touch and go. I like that. He touched with his left and then landed rights repeatedly. So he had the same pattern of success where he was touch and go. He was touching with his left and then throwing the power right, touching and then landing the right repeatedly, touching with the left, landing with the right.
Okay, and last went up against Daniel Dubois, or maybe it's because he felt like a bit of a bully going up against Jake Paul, but he didn't seem like he really had nasty intentions. So let's talk about the fight. I mean, he looks like bloody. There's a couple of shots that Jake's just be on a little. He was to the canvas. He hit the canvas multiple times, okay, on multiple occasions. There was one point occasions for the leg, like Ric Flair, and that was it. Up people online. Go through a couple of shots. He shot in again, and then they both went down to the canvas, and it looked like AJ might have landed on him with his knee to his groin. So he had 5 minutes because it looked like it was a low blow, but it wasn't.
Also Anderson Silva won.
A low blow, and then the fight continued. I'm just looking at pause. Jake Paul 6 rounds with Anthony Joshua, and it sounds like I'm being a hater. I'm not being a hater. I'm just saying what I saw. Right? I don't think he was there to actually fight him. What was the game plan? Stick and move, try and lunge in, try and shoot in a takedown. No, that's not how you win a boxing fight. You stand there by throwing shots, using feints, setting things up, sticking and moving, using.
Now we're going to look at this video.
Chill. Oh, there's a left hook. And down goes Paul. Do you have a message to all the fans back home that are watching you?
It's better to try and lose than not try at all.
I'm the only one who feels bad for Andrew. I feel like he had to win this.
I don't feel bad for Andrew at all.
He felt like he had to win this as opposed to every other fighter. It's like, yeah, they're fighting combat sports, but it's not that important that they win. Obviously, every person competing in combat sports, they should have I gotta win this.
Coach Greg, and did you all see 3 of the influencer fights over the weekend? We had Jake Paul, followed by Andrew Tate, and lo and behold, Jack Doherty, of all people. And so I'm sure you know by now that Jake Paul got punched, knocked out, broke his teeth, broke his jaw, and people are still speculating that this fight, it was fixed, that it was rigged from the beginning. Do you really think that Jake Paul planned to get knocked out, break his jaw in the 6th round? Or do you not think that he was doing his best to win the fight? Now, my opinion is Jake Paul had about a 1 in 1,000 chance of winning this fight. And so it was more a matter of when rather than if Joshua would finally beat him. Now, I'm sure a lot of people are thankful. They're glad that this happened. Finally, we got him. We didn't do anything. Joshua won against him in a lopsided victory, of which, of course, he won. He's literally 30 pounds bigger and about 5 inches taller than him. Jake Paul.
Yeah, and what they miss a lot of the commenters is they have to focus on the fact that he was heavier and bigger than Jake Paul. And they don't mention something that's at least as important. He was fitter, he was in better shape. Certainly he was bigger, but he was in better shape, fighting shape. Built like a linear fighting machine, whereas Jake Paul had more body fat. So Anthony Joshua was not just bigger, he was fitter, he was in better shape, built more like a fighter, like face value looking like a boxer, a pro boxer. And he was faster. So it's not just that he was bigger, he was in better shape, fitter, and he was faster.
Paul, he had no chance. Is he really a loser? Perhaps making $100 million for this fight? How many of you would not go into a boxing match against a heavyweight champion for $100 million, even if you lose? And so, regardless of the fact that he loses, he actually wins. Next, Andrew Tate, the top G, a former world kickboxing champion. And you don't think so?
Happy for him, genuinely.
Do you have a message to all the fans back home that are watching you?
It's better to try and lose than not try at all.
Am I the only one who like feels bad for Andrew? Like, I feel like he had to win this.
I don't feel bad for Andrew at all. He tried, he did his best, and he lost. What did you do? You who's watching this right now, did you try? Did you try and fail? It's better to have tried and failed than to never have tried at all and to simply wonder what you could have done. Now, imagine if we were going to say Andrew shouldn't have fought, that he somehow now loses his status due to everyone else.
Later.
Of the weekend, Jack Doherty, his body was also at this event. And so Jack bumps up into Arlovsky, and Arlovsky, he's not putting up with that. You don't do that on purpose to me. I'm a UFC champion.
Is that Andrei Arlovsky, the pit bull? He used to have a mouth guard with canines in it when he was fighting in the UFC. He fought Fedor.
Jack, he knows what he's doing. And Arlovsky, he's not putting up with that. You don't do that on purpose to me. I'm a UFC champion. Jack, he knows what he's doing. His camera's rolling, ready to get the footage to make him go viral. Now, imagine Jack's friends, these teenagers with the crazy hair. Imagine thinking that it's a good idea to start attacking Arlovsky.
Yeah.
I mean, that is going too far. Jack, he's hiding, he's getting back. But to just attack these people, these so-called pranks, I've had enough of it. All the people who are doing pranks, eventually it's going to end in chaos.
Yeah, like there's pranks and there's pranks. So there's pranks and jokes, and then there's the retarded pranks. Then it's like walking up and, for example, an example would be this clip of a reporter had like a microphone would walk up to what is it called? Tom Cruise, and they squirt liquid in his face, and they go pretend they're gonna ask a question, they squirt liquid in his face. Now that's if he would have punched him in the mouth, it's like, okay, you go up and if somebody throws a glass of water in somebody's face or milk, or puts hands on it, pushes you, or something like this, you're crossing a line there. It's not like a prank where you're addressing the celebrity and be like, I don't know, like verbal, we make a joke or something like this or whatever. No, it is a different thing. You get physical, you push the person, put hands on them, you push them, kick them or something like this, or throw something on them. That's a different level. That's a different level.
Perhaps somebody losing their life. You don't do these things. Why are you deliberately, on purpose, hitting into other people?
Yeah, because that's what you risk if you get into a street fight, is death. Especially people who are not that, don't understand fight that much, don't have experience understanding. They think, well, they kind of demand what they risk is like a bruised ego if they lose the fight or something like this. Now, getting into a street fight, you're risking dying and you're risking going to prison for manslaughter, where it happens all the time in street fights. Somebody gets hit, they just punched in the face or kicked or whatever or pushed. They fall over, they hit their head on the ground and they die or get brain damage. And if you were the person that the judge determines that you like initiated the fight and ends up getting physical because of you, and a person ends up dying, you can go to prison for manslaughter or something like this, involuntary manslaughter or manslaughter. So if you start a fight and the person dies, there's something that you risk, like prison, serious hard time. You risk getting permanently injured and dying yourself. So fighting is Dangerous.
People. You never know what day that person's had. You never know how they might retaliate.
Getting criminal. And he's winning. So there's several guys, which means it doesn't make him look like a bully. So this is not a loss like the opposite. This doesn't look horrible because yes, he's a big badass and a pro fighter. But it's like what, 3-4 people, guys that together as a group come up on him and start messing with him. So it's like this often called mess with the bull, get the horns, okay? Like if I would walk up to Arlovsky and punch him or something like this, as a prank, just punch me in the belly, so give a light punch in the belly. I wouldn't be surprised if he just kicked me. Do you understand? So it's like, yeah, it's like, what are you expecting? That he's going to be, oh, it's a fun internet prank, these people go up attacking me or something like this. Whatever they did.
Now understand, Arlovsky, he went easy on these guys. He's not attacking them. He's throwing his hands a little bit. He's not throwing full force. He's not like he jumped on the guy, attacked him, body slammed him. He's simply saying, hey, mess off. Stay away from me. If he wanted to, he could have put all of these guys out. And so he exercised restraint, unlike Jack Doherty and his posse. And so we can see the fingers being thrown in the air. These guys are doing anything to be hated. Remember, controversy sells. You don't think Wes Watson knows and realizes what he's doing despite getting all of the hate? How often do we talk about him? Jack Doherty, the exact same thing. And so to do to him whatever you want. And so hopefully Work Builder Max to help you so you can get the cookbooks, throwing his hands a little bit. He's to push your ego. He knows what he's doing. And Arlovsky, he's not.
Looks like he threw a punch there.
Arlovsky.
Look at this again.
And Arlovsky, he's not putting up with that. You don't do that on purpose to me. I'm a UFC champion. Jack, he knows what he's doing.
I love how, if you analyze that there, it's like Arlovsky is like, understand, it's like his fight, it's like a Rottweiler fighting 3 Chihuahuas or something like this. Where it's like his focus is on this guy and putting him on the ground, and he's getting punched from the side and he's just ignoring it. You can tell that the punches is he doesn't care about that. I get to you in a minute. Understand? It's like he's not like I got clipped, turn to the guy who just punched him and go, I got it. No, it's like he's focused on this guy, punch, he getting hit, looked like in the shoulder side, he's getting hit by the other guy, but he just ignores it, doesn't care. Like whatever the little scroll down this little guy's punches, he's not caring about it. Like he's not doing anything to him. It's like he can feel it, but it's not to the point where it's like, oh, I'm being attacked enough here. I had to turn and deal with this threat. It's not big of a threat for him to even turn to him. Like he's focused on getting this guy, who was, I guess, the first guy attacking him, on the ground, and then this guy's throwing punches at him, and then he's like, okay, I'm done, and he turns to deal with him. I'm done with that other guy. So we looked at this. Here's Arlovsky.
Not putting up with that. You don't do that on purpose.
Oh, that's a big guy there. He threw a punch too.
To me, I'm a UFC champion. Hate Doherty and Arlovsky. He's not putting up with that. You don't do that on purpose to me. I'm a UFC champion. Jack, he knows what he's doing. His camera's rolling, ready to get the footage to make him go viral. Now, imagine Jack's friends, these teenagers with the crazy hair. Imagine thinking that it's a good idea to start attacking.
That big black guy is the bodyguard of these influencers. Okay. I wonder if that big black guy, because he looked like he was getting to a lot. But I wonder if that big black guy is the bodyguard of these influencers. Because they look to be rich. Some of the people in the crowd want to have like a Dolce & Gabbana jacket. And if these people are like famous pranksters that monetize YouTubers, whatever platform they're on. They might be well off enough to where they have security, a bodyguard with them, which adds a different component of people suing them for the pranks too. Because if they go around pranking people and they bring a big black guy, it's like a violence. You do understand? It's like they can go and poke at people and they have a guy's got a job to protect them next to them. Do you understand? Which could be like, well, so we go and prank people, and people, if they get mad at us for pranking them, we got a big guy with us that can kick their ass if you need to. So it becomes a different thing. I wonder if that big black guy that was the bodyguard of the influencers. It looked like he threw a punch towards.
With the crazy hair. Imagine thinking that it's a good idea to start attacking Arlovsky. I mean, that is going too far. Jackie's hiding to get the footage to make him go viral. Now, imagine it's a good idea to start attacking Arlovsky. I mean, that is going too far. Jackie's so-called, all the people you don't know who are doing pranks, eventually it's going to end in chaos or perhaps somebody losing their life. You don't do these things.
Yeah, I think possibly that black guy is the bodyguard, these influencers, and it looked like he was possibly trying to de-escalate towards them because he's staying close to the small guys to our black guy, little chihuahuas there, Bork-Yarodowski. And towards the end, it looks like he gets like, hey, let's get going or something like this.
Why are you deliberately on purpose in chaos or perhaps somebody...
Here's the big black guy. It looks like he goes and kind of gets these influencers like, hey, let's get going. Okay, let's get out of here.
It's going to end in...
See? And he steps in here, gets in between.
In chaos.
Here, so he gets in between.
Us, or
and then kind of goes, hey, let's get out of here.
Perhaps somebody losing their life. You don't do these things. That is going to go viral. Now, Jack, he knows what he's doing. His camera's rolling.
Now notice here how the big, so I don't think it's a lost it. Notice how it looks like the big black guy, I'm guessing, and this is the first time I watched this, is from this Greg Doucette video. I didn't know that this happened. It looks like the big black guy is the bodyguard of the influencers. So they go to get a prank and they bring like muscle with them. But adds a component, intimidation, retaliation, where it's like, if you're doing things that are like, pranks, like throw water on people or push them or something like this, and you bring like a big muscle guy with you, that adds like, do you understand? It's like if I walk up and push somebody and I have like a big bouncer with me, and it's like, well, if I defend myself, then this big black guy's gonna get involved or something like this. Do you understand? So that's kind of counted too. So let's look at the clip again. That's kind of interesting.
Ready to get the...
I'm gonna see if I can find this here. Arlovsky Airport. Andrei Arlovsky fights 4 guys. Yeah, see, so I do believe, I do think that this big black guy is the bodyguard of the pranksters that then approached Arlovsky to mess with him for views. And it looked like he threw a punch towards Arlovsky as Arlovsky was moving towards him. So now after that, it looked like the bodyguard switched to like, hey, let's get you out of here, okay? It's getting in between them. Like, let's get going, guys, okay?
So I rolled my ass out of bed this morning to find out that Jack Doherty is getting himself in Andre.
I think this is the border.
Went viral where they're trying to form champion.
And he threw a 1-2 there. And here's a big dude coming. Maybe that's another board.
Clip, the first thing that I'm thinking is, how do you even end up in a situation like this? And thankfully, I did find a clip from Jack's stream. Unfortunately, it lags a little bit, so you can't see exactly what happens, but it looks like they might have just bumped into each other walking by. And
Andrei Arlovsky and Jack Doherty spark back with 23 remain unclear. Pandemonium. Fans speculated online whether Doherty's presence escalated the situation. The incident has sparked a broader discussion about how celebrities and content creators interact with professional athletes.
Ilya Taporia, should he be stripped? So I had visited Strip Ilya, and they
Normally up off from Chael.
Joshua versus Paul. This is silly. This is the sporting mismatch of my lifetime. The odds don't reflect that. There's a big gap, but it's not the most mismatched betting line in the history of sports. And the reason for that is not because there's a secret underground belief in Jake Paul's boxing. It's because there's a segment of the public that believes that this is a work, that this is scripted, that this is entertainment, that this is wrestling. I'm very confident those people are wrong. I'm just sharing with you that that is why you don't have 20,000 to 1 odds, which
There was something Chael Sonnen talked about the other day. He made a video. I remember him talk about speed and how speed matters. And he turned out to be right. Well, turned out to be right. People who say that speed is important fighting were proven right even more by this recent fight, Jake Paul versus Anthony Joshua, because Jake Paul is not as fast as Anthony Joshua. Anthony Joshua was faster. And Anderson Silva won versus Tyron Buddha. And it looks like the way that he did it, he capitalized on his fighting reflexes, MMA, and made it look like he was going to throw a kick or a knee. And he got him reacting to that, and then caught him by surprise with his punches. Anderson Silva is like a magician. He's good at deception and being elusive and sneaking shots in and landing like unexpected shots and hitting in ways that you're not expecting, and making you miss and being able to hit in special ways. So I'm gonna finish up. I might go live again later.